All right. Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Marion Golder from Uhandisi Talks. This afternoon, we are going to have uh, a discussion with Sylvester, who is here with me. Um, it's really nice to meet you, Sylvester. Today, we are talking about, as advertised, a master's degree. And if you're like me, you might have been on a crossroads whether to pursue a master's degree after your undergraduate degree, what it will do to your career. We all have different kinds of goals, and sometimes you want results B, and you're wondering if you take this step, you're going to get to where you want to go to. Um, so, this is what you're going to discuss today with Sylvester. Sylvester has taken his master's. He will tell us more about that later. So before I give Sylvester a chance to introduce himself, I'll tell you a bit about myself. My name is Marion Golder. I am a civil engineer. I'm also a founder to Uhandisi Talks, a platform where we talk about everything that will help an engineer grow in their profession, in their engineering profession. And this is also open to the construction managers, Sylvester. We are not rigid. Yeah, anybody who can learn from Uhandisi Talks is welcome to learn. So it's really great
Right.
to have you. You see, we are open. I really love the fact that you're not an engineer. It's
Yeah,
always good to get different kinds of perspective to everything. So you're
sure.
most welcome, Sylvester, and I'll give you an opportunity to tell us about yourself.
All right. Thank you, Marion, for this opportunity to be at this platform on this day. As Marion has said, I'm Sylvester Muthoka. I'm a construction project manager by profession, and have a bachelor's in construction management and a master's in construction project management. And it's good to be in this platform and to be able to enlighten people and even share different perspectives in different career backgrounds. Uh,
Yes.
One thing I'd be looking forward is to clarify the work of a construction project manager is
Okay.
relating to the civil engineering, because most of the guys, once you tell them you work in the building, they assume you are either an architect,
Mm-hmm.
a civil engineer, or QS. But
Yes.
with the evolving job market, we have other roles that are coming, and that depends on the demand in the market and also the direction the industry is heading to. So, construction management is not a new area; it's an area that has been in practice for long. And yeah, looking forward to sharing my uh, career and also strategies and also how impactful and how uh, important it can be to maybe do a master's in your country and compared to also other countries like the UK, the US, and also Australia. So looking forward to the discussions and yeah, get to know each one of you. Thank you.
Okay. Perfect. Thank you so much, Sylvester. Indeed, a lot of people don't know about construction managers and what they do. Um, and also because engineers in themselves, there's something engineers do called, no, sorry, that would be the QSs. I was going to, there's also a confusion between engineers and QSs when it comes to cost
Yeah,
estimates.
yeah, yeah, sure.
I'm going to forget about that. But now that you tell us that people don't really know much about that, or there's a confusion in that area, tell us now, please make it clear for everybody. What do construction project managers do?
What I can say is just as the name construction project manager is just,
Mm-hmm.
I would say, in terms of a project setup, you find that if there's the client as a construction manager, you can represent the client in that project. And at the same time, you can work on a contractor site. You're the one who is on site, you're in charge of the day-to-day supervisions on site. You're also in charge of the foreman. You also coordinate site jobs, and also depending on the level or the position you have been tasked with, you're able to prepare even the Gantt charts. You prepare the program of works for the project. You're the one who is now aligning the procurement schedules for the projects
Mm-hmm.
together with the procurement team. And through that, as you grow and also as you gain experience, you grow to become now a project manager who is now the construction project manager.
Mm-hmm.
So mainly you coordinate different disciplines in a project setup where there is now the client, we have the consultants, we have people who are impacted directly and indirectly to the by the project, and you the person, the to go person, you the one who
Mm-hmm.
coordinate the design, you the one who coordinate the communication, set up meeting schedules,
Mm-hmm.
coordinate all the requirements, and facilitate any information that may be required during the project execution. So I would say, as a construction project manager, is not like an civil engineer where you have your task is to design civil works. You have uh, a structural engineer. You have now to do the structural work. The architect, you do the design. And
Mm-hmm.
for us, we only know how to. We have the experience, we have the knowledge on how to design, but not as detailed as now to those other disciplines. So we interpret, we can design, we can make design inputs, design as we do inception of the project. So we can help architects and other consultants to come up with a sustainable design depending on the environment and also the project setup. So as a project manager in construction, it's your work, and it's the person to ensure that the client gets what they envisioned during the inception of that project. Yeah.
Thank you. That was very comprehensive. And as you're speaking, honestly, I was telling myself, Sylvester, we need to have a separate discussion on
Mm,
on that so that we can
yeah.
explore that and delve into that, because already in my mind there's so many questions I want to ask you.
Yeah.
Like, do you mainly work with the client, or where do you work in Kenya? Because you don't really see, I have been a engineering professional for 4 years now,
Mm,
but I've never met a construction profession project manager, you see. So I have so
mm,
many questions in my head that I want to ask
mhm.
you, but I know we
Yeah.
have limited time to talk about what we need to talk about today. So
No
maybe
problem.
we can actually revisit and do something comprehensive on construction project management, right?
Mm,
Yes. Okay, thank you for that comprehensive introduction. So today we want to talk about master's degree.
mhm,
And
mm,
I think this is something that will apply to all professionals, not just engineers, even construction project managers, architects, quantity
yeah.
surveyors. You finish your degree, and then
Mm,
first of all, you might get directly into the job market. The people who immediately they go and do their masters, and the
mm,
people who go and get some experience, and then they opt to pursue their masters. Then there are people
yeah.
who don't do masters at all. So personally, I've gotten different kinds of feedback concerning masters, and
Mm,
what I'm hearing is in past years, if you had a masters, I mean, you automatically grow, like you automatically shoot in your career. It will get you ahead. Definitely, it would. But you find
yeah.
that nowadays, I don't know if things have changed, because myself, I don't have a master's, so I don't want to say
Mm,
anything. That's why I wanted to have you here with us, because you have the experience. You finished your degree, you went did your
mm,
masters, and you tell us if you got some experience before.
mm,
So what is it that motivated you? What was the motivation behind? What is it that you are looking for? That you decided, okay, if I pursue a masters, then this is the result that I'm gonna get from this.
mm.
Yes.
So, so thank you for that question, Marion. For me, I would say one thing that led me to do masters is when I was finishing my undergraduate, I never even envisioned whether I would like to do masters, and if I was to do it, I wanted not to do it from Kenya. So and I had the idea. I tried applying some masters. I even tried applying at UN
Mm-hmm.
uh, for masters, but that time I now got a job, and I think I became too busy and too comfortable to now pursue academics, because once you have a job being paid and you see everything that you envisioned in career wise you're doing, and now it came back to the COVID, and things changed because
Mm-hmm.
everyone was at home.
Yeah.
Construction projects were closed down. No one was going anywhere, and
Mm-hmm.
during that time, I just got a thought, if this is how things going to be going forward, and now I only have that time I had around 6 years. Yeah, 6 years in the construction industry, so
Mm-hmm.
I had experience. I had interacted. I had done projects in different parts of Kenya, and I I think I got a conviction to just do masters. And that
Mm-hmm.
time uh, I saw an opportunity at Commonwealth shared scholarship. So they were offering the master's scholarship, uh,
Mm-hmm.
which is fully funded, and I
Yeah.
applied. So I tried several courses,
Mm-hmm.
and that was the construction project management was the only opportunity that I got. So I
Mm-hmm.
succeeded in that.
Mm-hmm.
And before I applied, for me, I looked at the course, what the course had, and what were the units that I did in my undergraduate, and things that I'll be able to learn if now I've practiced in the industry, so I know how projects are done from the inception to completion, to handover, and all those documentation, communication, and all those. So for me, I wanted a course which will add more knowledge and make me more competitive in the built environment. And
Mm-hmm.
with the course, I saw some modules where there was sustainability in the built environment, building information modeling in design, building information modeling in construction, and also operation. And
Mm-hmm.
having done research, having interest in sustainability, I saw the course fits where I want to be in coming
Yes.
years. And I I saw an opportunity and I took it. So I applied for the course, I applied for the
Mm-hmm.
scholarship, and I was lucky I got the scholarship.
Mm-hmm.
And when I went for the scholarship, I would say the experience was enlightening, because I was
Mm-hmm.
able to visit different sites
Mm-hmm.
done by big companies like Vinci, Skia, and I
Mm-hmm.
was able to learn different construction methods and see how they normally do their things, and all
Mm-hmm.
which is totally different from what we do. But with the knowledge and the skills, and with our now built environment in Kenya being uh, still not growing as required, but we are heading there. But there will come a time when these skills will be required. And for me, I normally say it's good to be ready. Well, once opportunity comes, it better finds you ready. Don't just wait and say, I wish I knew. So if you want to do masters, the first thing you want to ask yourself is, where would I want to be in the coming 5 years? Because in UK masters is just 1 year, so you just go for 1 year, and then after that, what next? So you need to don't just decide to go and do masters. You need to have a strategy on where you need to go. So for me, uh, mainly I was targeting construction companies, real estate developers. But when I went there, I saw different experiences, and I interacted with companies. And when I came back here, I would say it's not easy fitting back from being away for 1 year. You find things do change like every day. The people that you knew, they're in different companies, and things are changing. And now that
Yeah.
makes you that necessitates you to adapt to the environment. So for me, I've been now to consultancy. I do consultancy in terms of building information modeling and also
Mm,
sustainability, carbon accounting, and also
mm,
feasibility studies. And for me, masters has opened up my mind, even my networks, and also
mm,
having the exposure to see a different industry and also different perspectives and new ways of collaborating. Because as you're an engineer, you know, in construction there are so many issues, and you need to coordinate all of them in your field.
exactly.
And
Mm,
because we have the project has a short timeline, we only have maybe 3 months to deliver uh, a billion project, and that requires a lot of input, a lot of work, and
mm,
that needs us and people in the build environment to have those skills. And I think if you have a master's, then it gives you that critical thinking perspective. You have now the skills and knowledge on how to do research, and also to
mm,
how to use research to positively impact the project that you're working on. You also know how now to do data, critical data analysis to ensure that you rely on data to drive your projects forward. And
mm,
I think you can't have all those skills, knowledge before
mm,
you go to masters. And also for me, I would say if you get a chance, because you can't say I need to have experience to go to masters.
mm,
If you get an opportunity, go for the masters, but now come
mm,
back and practice. Be ready to learn. Don't just go for masters and now you haven't practiced and you think you
yeah.
come to the industry and you want to be on top of someone who has been in the industry for 7 years, and for you you only have a master's. So you come as a student, you learn, because for them they have been in the industry. And you the other thing you learn, whatever you learn in book is not what is applied in the industry. You find they do things differently, and some are shortcuts, others are the right way to do things. And
Mm,
with that, you get to know which way, and you use the knowledge that you have from masters to now make the judgment, choose the right way. Because in project management, we say there is no right way to do the project. You only need to have control of your time, the budget, and the scope of the project. So just innovate new ways to drive and ensure that there's productivity every day. And this through those skills, you'll be able even to grow professionally, and also be able to deliver projects which will even give a fulfillment professionally and also uh, personally at individual level.
interesting.
Thank you.
That's comprehensive, very comprehensive. So, if I can just give a recap of what you've said, what I've gotten is about around five things from what you've told us. It
Mm,
is you wanted to deepen your knowledge in your field,
mm,
construction project management, and
yeah.
so that was your one of the things that drove you. But then when you went in, because you had the opportunity for the scholarship, then
Mm,
after the masters you were able to gain things like skills in research, data analytics, things like
mm,
you mentioned networking,
mm,
and for you, you did your masters outside your country, so that means you have like global networks, right?
yeah. Yeah. Sure.
Yes. Yeah. So you're telling us those are some of the things. I was writing them down actually. And when you talked about that data, and also you talked about, as you're talking, I was just thinking how project management indeed is very important in having successful projects,
Mm,
construction projects.
mm,
Because there is a course I took a while ago about major engineering project performance, and
mm,
they were stressing on the fact that a lot of failure really come in the initial stages of planning for the project, and
mm,
sometimes you find that they do inaccurate. You're talking about data driven decisions,
mm,
so a lot of inaccuracies on the benefits some projects are going to have, and this could be because of political interests. So they will just magnify the benefits that some project is going to have just so it passes. So
Mm.
when you're talking about data and data-driven decisions, I wanted to ask you, is this one of the skills that you learned specifically in your master's? Is it something that a skill that your master's gave you?
So for me, I would say one thing is you see the way you are able to get information from one perspective and another perspective, and combine that one thing to inform your decision. Because if you can learn what this person did and they deliver this project in this amount in this time, and you have now the factors which affecting that project, and you know what were the constants, I think you are able to even if you're having the same challenges, you're able to inform your project and be able to even drive changes. Because you see, when in project, when you have the bottlenecks, those are the only areas that you need to uh, focus on, because you don't need to focus on whatever is you're doing right. In a project, you focus on what you're doing wrong, because those are the areas where things are not working. And when you have one system is not working in a project setup, it means there was other areas will be affected and there'll be delays. And that's when now we come up now to the issue of the white elephants, because the project, we have this ambitious project. It's billions. It has a big impact. But
Mm-hmm.
now, the moment you come now to the real numbers in the industry in implementing the project, you find that it's not the actual now thing, because it's only had only a political interest, and this now comes back now to the issue of corruption. Everyone wants now to be mentioned in project, and for me, I would say, if now with the access of the data, and now currently with a lot of data online, we have now the chat GPTs, and people having now many sources to get data. There is blog, there is now podcasts. And I think for us as people in the built environment, what we need to do is to have those skills to know which data is important to our project. Because again, we know in construction, we find there are areas where we find once you don't also have data security in your a company or in an organization, you might end up being scammed, because someone is now pretending now to be one of your staff. And with that, now calls us as professionals, as also organization, as we if the companies grow, as you are to a bigger project, you need a team of experts, people who are able to analyze this enormous data and inform you the project. Also have now set up the system on how to ensure data security on who needs to access what at what time. And with that, from masters, with getting the knowledge on how now to absorb that knowledge and also implement it at the same time is a skill that you normally get to know. Because in masters, we normally say you read a lot and you read wide, and as you go up now, you read wider and deeper, and it
Mm-hmm.
depends on how and where you want to be. For
Mm-hmm.
academics, uh, who try to bridge between academia and the industry. For
Mm-hmm.
me, uh, uh, my goal is now to bridge the academia and the industry side in terms of BIM and sustainability. And for masters, I think it will depend on personal interest. It's not a must. There are many people who are successful engineers, project managers, who have just done certifications from the industry, and they are wonderful, excellent project managers. They are
Mm-hmm.
so it depends with your own personal uh, goals and what you would like to achieve. It's not like you need to have a master's to do great things. It's just if you have critical thinking, you have new ways of gaining now the skills. It's okay.
Mm.
You just it's not a must to have a master's. So yeah.
Actually, that's actually the next question I was thinking of asking you. and you're saying there are people who they don't have masters and they're doing
mm,
so well. They're
yeah,
doing so well in their career. And the really the drive behind this discussion is really the motivation to see sometimes the way you take one step. Have you had people complaining about the way nowadays the degrees don't help anybody?
yeah, sure, sure.
Yes. So really it's because of wrong expectations. It's because you were programmed to think all you need to do is to finish your education and you're going to be fine. Nobody was
Mm,
really stressing this other side of
yeah,
developing skills that employers don't need your papers, they
mm,
need skills, they
yeah,
need you to do the work.
mm,
So somebody might also think, okay, I want to advance in my career. Okay, now I'm here, I want to get there.
mm,
Doing a master's do that for me, and you're talking about people who have not done it and they have succeeded. And
mm,
I wanted you to take us through alternatives to a master's that somebody can opt to. And because I've seen even in our field sometimes when they're bidding and you see the key staff, there are some positions they actually specify must have a master's degree in
mm,
this. But then
mm,
most of it you find that professionals from 8 years experience huko kwenda mbele, 8 to 15 years.
mm,
So far, personally, that's the only thing I've seen. That's the only place I have seen a master's coming in. When you get to a certain level, they will say, we need somebody with a master's in this. And I was thinking to myself, that would maybe to prove their knowledge in that area, that they've truly internalized that area.
mm,
I've seen them demanding for somebody with a master's. Uh, but then you're saying there are also other people, and I've seen also myself who haven't done and they
mm,
have succeeded. So, what are
mm,
these things that if you want to do in your career, then going to do a master's is the right thing? So that you go. I love doing things with full knowledge. So
yeah,
you know what you're going to expect from this thing. You can put your effort in one thing, you want
yeah,
another thing, and you're actually
mm,
putting your effort in the wrong place. And you've
mm,
talked about academia, and you've talked about things like research skills, and there are careers in those areas. So would you
mm,
please take us through some of the paths
mm.
that a master's is going to be kind of mandatory for you? you know?
Yeah, so thank you for that. I would say for me, masters in areas where it be mandatory, it depends with the organization.
Mm-hmm.
And the other thing is, one thing I said, masters is not a must thing, because if you have a good job, you know where you're going. As now we have certifications there is international organization like the PMI. We have now the PMP. We have also the PMICP for construction professionals.
Mm-hmm.
And if you have practiced in the industry 3 years, 4 years, and you haven't been lucky to get now the opportunity to do masters, because you find that masters in abroad is very expensive and it needs a lot of investment, and you
Mm-hmm.
might not have that.
Mm-hmm.
Again, masters in your local country it might even be now challenging because of the finances. Again, with the level of exposure that you need, and now if all those things are not working for you, I would advise go for the professional certification. So it's now the PMP, PMICP for construction professionals, because those are widely globally recognized certifications. And there are people who just have degrees, they have done all those certifications, and they think there are stages. You get now the CPT points, and I
Mm-hmm.
think that shows that you are able to implement whatever that you say you practice, because certification normally show that you have the knowledge and the skills to be in that position. Because if you're a project manager, have a PMP to showcase you have mastery of the skills, the principles, and the knowledge of a project manager. And also in construction now, the emergence of now the new course in PMP, PMICP. shows that you have the skills, the mastery in the construction industry, and this way it showcases your skills and abilities to employers. And you don't need now to go to masters, and because I think all those certifications they teach in one way or another: critical thinking, strategic
mm,
planning, strategic
mm,
management. We have now budgeting, financial modeling. We have resource mobilization, resource allocation, and all those things are the ones now you'll be using in your field. And the same things, the same skills, because for certification you won't have to do now independent research like the case in your masters, where you have you need to now to identify a problem, and you need to research and uh, conclude and offer a
mm,
recommendation on that. For certification, you don't need that. So for you, if you have no passion for research and doing those independent research, just go for the certifications and
mm.
don't do what other people are doing. As I was speaking to another forum, I said identify your
Yeah.
niche. Don't
Mm,
just be someone who just says I can do this, and once you're given the opportunity you're not able to deliver, because
mm,
employers are looking for people who can deliver, people who
mm,
they talk less and do more, people who are able to execute. And
mm.
one thing in the construction industry, you only get recommendations because of the works you've done. Because if you
You've
did
done
well, you
exactly.
interacted well with stakeholders, people will recommend you to other projects. And that way, you
Mm,
won't need to be applying and saying the industry is not absorbing us, because uh,
mm.
we normally say the information you lack is with your next neighbor. It's only that you're not aware. And if you talk to your
Yeah.
neighbor, they'll tell you, yeah, sure, I know these vacancies. But the moment you're not communicating, you're not networking, you're not
Mm,
showcasing your skills that you have. Write an article,
mm,
just educate something, volunteer, go to uh,
mm,
those things that will expose you. If someone asks you, you say, yes, I'm an engineer, I'm an architect, I can do this. Volunteer even to do community projects. And those are some of the things that you will build you, even you know how to interact and even know how to pitch yourself. Because I saw an article saying that nowadays people, when they come for interviews, someone cannot express themselves, and you give that someone now the responsibility, and you send them now to site. How do you think now the communication will be if they can't express themselves to someone? And you need to send someone who knows how to communicate, to have clear information to inform your project. And I think having now the masters and the certifications, it puts you a competitive edge compared to your peers.
mm,
Again, once you climb, just know there are people who will be feel intimidated because of that. Because they normally think when once you start going masters and PhD, you're thinking in terms of academia, but
mm.
there are things that you get from academia which are transferable. Now the skills like the ones I was talking about, the critical
Yes.
thinking, strategic management, decision making. You also know how to communicate. So if you can do communication through writing, that means you can even do communication one on one. And
Exactly.
those are areas which employers look for, depending on different sectors. So it will depend with the individual, and again, as I said, where you want to go. Because for
Mm,
me, I'm doing both. I'm doing both certifications and still doing academia.
mm,
Yeah, so it depends with the goals that you set for yourselves, and also uh, have people who can mentor you on where you want to be. Ask questions, and
mm,
those questions use them to grow yourself. So there's no a perfect career. All careers have their own struggles. Don't think because you see teachers on striking every day.
mm,
Now the engineers, we are not suffering. Every field has its own challenges, but you
mm,
thrive regardless. You just have to know how to position yourself, put your best foot ahead, and opportunity will come at its own time. So yeah, don't put pressure on yourself too much.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. So, thanks for that, Sylvester. And as you were seeing that, it's coming out very clearly that it really depends on your individual goals and what you want
Mm,
to achieve and what you want to do. And of course, you've made it. You've told us that there are alternatives. Like for yourself, you see these alternatives like PMP, which I see is it's actually all kinds of professionals are doing PMP.
mm,
So, what I was thinking is, do you have you ever come across individuals who have been disappointed from doing masters, or even yourself? Yes, there have been benefits that you've gotten from pursuing a master's degree, and of course, you've shared them with us. But could there
mm,
be something that you might have expected to happen with this achievement that probably you didn't get right on the onset before you started pursuing it? Probably you can share
mm.
that with us. Mm.
And so, thank you for that. For me, I would say one thing I've learned so far after completing my masters is when you go in there, you have this big expectation. You think
Mhm.
the industry, when you come back, will receive you with that relation, knowing that you have masters. But the surprise that beats you is nobody even cares whether you have
Oh my god.
they
Okay.
don't. And if you are someone who has loss of esteem, you'll be demoralized because
Mm-hmm.
for me, I've attended many interviews, and for me, I don't give up because one thing I know, if you don't fit in an organization, you can't force it. And
Yes.
if you know your value, you know what you bring to the table. Don't be just rushing to be in any organization because there are companies that you can work for, and you're getting the money, and your mental health is not even okay. And uh, take it as a challenge. Devise new ways to, because you went to class, you didn't come back here to just reason like an employee. When you go to masters, you need to have strategies to survive because you need to position yourself. And you might think maybe you've published research, you've done volunteer works, and you think many people know you. You might realize even very few people can recognize you. And
Mm.
now it gives you now another challenge to position yourself. And if you just now start regretting, why did I even waste that 1 year? And
Mm-hmm.
I left even a well-paying job, but now I don't have a job. I
Mm-hmm.
think it won't even make sense for you even to start the master's journey. If you
Exactly.
know your plan is to come back to employment, just be ready for any outcome. If you get employment, well and good, because everyone is lucky on their own time. If you get employment after your masters, lucky for you. If not, then come up with new ways. Go to events,
Mm.
volunteer, show up in different uh, areas. And as I said, once you volunteer, once you become part of a community, depending on nowadays there are WhatsApp groups, those association. Like now we have the Association of the Construction Managers, where I normally volunteer as a research and advocacy. And once you interact there, that's, as I said, the information you're looking for, it's with your neighbor. You'll People will share information that you need. You'll use it for your own advantage. You'll get even job referrals, because if you're in a construction management group, people will share opportunities. You have the qualification, you have the papers. There are people who know you, so they refer you. So for 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 you to be able to thrive after masters and even having a masters, don't have that mentality like, it now, people need to know that I have a master's. That's just a paper like the other paper. Show them the value, show them the impact. Be that unique person. Once you say, I'm employed with this company, your impact is being felt because you simplify things. you make things easier for even the other employees, and you push the company forward. If you're lucky to have savings and you have now a clientele, because depending on different people, you have different networks, go start that consultancy company and do things. And don't wait for the moment you'll be ready, because there's no moment you'll be ready. And you'll be surprised how things will unfold, because now you have the networks, having worked, interacted with the different people in your masters, because during your masters, you meet people from different walks of life. There's the CEO, there's the HR, there's different people. And once you interact with them, the opportunities are among those people. And the other thing is, do something which has a purpose, even for your own life. As I was reading a book, another book say, don't be passionate. You have to be passionate, because when you have a passion without purpose, it leads to waste. So have that purpose that you need to achieve, even as you go for that masters, as you pursue those certifications. Don't look at the money. First, know how to solve the problems, the money part comes. Because if you can solve people's problems, and if you can look even in other industries, the companies which are making a lot of money, they make our lives easier in one or another. So if you can be able to make someone's life easier in one way or another, the money will come, and people will pay even premium rates. But if you're not the person to solve problems, no one will come, and we just regret saying, why did I even do the degree? Why did I do civil engineering? I could be a teacher. Why did I do this? I could. For you, if you're not ready to learn, is one thing you'll be discouraged, because the industry, if for example you're fresh from graduate, you don't expect to be paid the same amount with someone who has been in the industry. So you need
Mm-hmm.
to have that patience and get learn, be able to continue being a student even when you're outside. Be
Mm-hmm.
willing to learn. For me, I would say I had good bosses when I finished my undergraduate. They
Mm-hmm.
taught me how to manage projects and how to do procurements and uh, things to do with technology, and how to do things, how to make things happen without
Mm-hmm.
the stories and all those bureaucracies. And if you have a good mentor and a good foundation, even those experiences, they'll shape you, they'll even direct you, because your work will speak for you. Again, the other thing is having a portfolio, create a portfolio, even and those school projects, those masters, those side hustles, and showcase that. For me, I would say that's an area I never knew it's important in in our area of specialization, but I've come to know that once you start climbing the ladder, the more the demands, because once you have a master's, people know want to now see the project that you claim you've worked on. You have
Mm-hmm.
a portfolio of those projects that you've worked on, and that now sets you apart, because you find that you have everyone has done masters like you, they have certification like you, but you need one thing that will set you apart even from the others, because if everyone has everything that you have, and there is nothing unique about you, you'll only end where the other people would be, because employer is looking for that one unique employee among the many. So yeah, you just need to be unique, be your own style, use the information that is available to enlighten yourself. Don't compete with anyone, because you need to compete with yourself. In this career, if you start competing with people, for me, one thing I've realized is we normally find ourselves comparing with people,
Yeah.
ourselves with people who have even 15, 20 years experience. And you see
Mm-hmm.
they are CEOs in big companies, they are
Mm-hmm.
project managers, senior head of this. But you don't see the number of years that they have, and how their path has been. So for me, when I get chance to interact with those people, I get to learn the things that they have gone through, the challenges that they experienced, and I
Mm-hmm.
get to learn from their stories. And these stories, they shape me. They also keep me in check. Because if
Mm.
someone can tell you they have worked for years, they have been paid, and now you're seeing
Yes.
them as senior project manager, you think they're telling just stories. But once you hear
Yeah.
it from them, you get to
Mm.
know patience is very key,
Okay.
especially in the civil engineering, the build environment. You need patience because,
Mm.
as you said, in construction, you need to have those skills for
Mm.
people to trust you, even with their project, with their information, with their money, even the clients. And
Mm.
that comes with experience because
Mm.
the more you interact with people, the more people will
Mm.
trust you. And I know people would normally say construction and civil engineering, people have papers, they don't have work. But as hard as it is, it's good for us to think in terms of now employers, because you find that you can start with whatever that you have at the moment. There are situations that they are dire need, but start with whatever that you have. Showcase that skill. Go to that event.
Mm.
Be the member of your local church there. If the chief's camp is being built, go and contribute. Show them, and that way you'll introduce yourself because they'll see you bringing in value. And with that, you'll be able even to climb the corporate ladder because for construction, you normally
Oh, we lost you, Sylvester. So we lost Sylvester there, but we have been talking about an MSc. We've been talking about, he has been telling us about his MSc, what he was able to get from it, and he has been discussing a lot. Sylvester, you welcome back. We had lost you there.
yeah, it was I think glitch in the network.
Perfect. You can continue.
Yeah, so as I was saying, you once you have all that, you'll be able to climb the ladder and be able to even be reach those positions that we see people looking forward to, the mentors that we are looking forward to be one day. So yeah, it's a tough field, but it's manageable. It's
Mm.
manageable with the right attitude and the right mood.
I thank you so much. I mean, you have talked about, I mean, so much. I can't even start breaking it down. I mean, people are just gonna have to watch it and get the whatever gets to them. You know, in every discussion, there's just one thing that you pick from it. So I'm not going to try
Mm,
to break it down at all because it was so rich. However, there is two things that you've spoken of that resonated with me so much.
mm,
So the problems you're solving, what problems are you solving? You know, it's not just about I have a master's, I have this, I also have this, I also have this. What are you using these things to solve? And that, I
mm,
think that answered my question. Personally, my question is answered because now
mm,
it's like you're telling us, okay, I'm going to do this. After I do this MSc, I need to show this is what I can take this MSc and take it to my industry and use it to solve this specific problem. Then it has value.
mm,
Then now it has value. I was so impressed. And I also feel like as you were speaking, you also touched on branding yourself. The way you're saying that after you came back, you found it very difficult landing back.
mm,
And so what you're talking to us about the portfolio and joining this, I feel like you're talking about branding yourself, like repackaging yourself. So you enter now into the market and and also something that I picked was that you have value. You literally have value, whether you have gotten a job after your degree or not. So you need to um, put yourself out
sorry.
there. When you understand, even for volunteering opportunities, put yourself out there. Let people see what it is that you can do.
Mm,
So I found your response so rich. I was really enjoying myself here listening. So thank you so
mm,
much for that. I would say
thank
that
you.
I actually don't have any more questions because I feel like you have answered all that I had. And
Mm,
what I can say now is maybe you can tell us a bit about There's something I saw on your profile. Efficiency.
Mhm.
If I go through your profile, I've never gone through your profile, but I went through it today. There's so much about efficiency, efficiency, efficiency. Okay, tell us a bit about that before you give us your parting shot.
Sorry, I was changing my network.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yes, task efficiency. There's something on your profile a lot about task efficiency. And I saw a bit of beam, task efficiency. Okay, please tell us a bit about that. I was really looking
Oh,
forward to asking you.
in simple terms, that means in building information modeling, there is what we call task efficiency. You need to schedule your tasks to ensure that every task is matched with even the procurement. If you're doing the words, you need to match it with when the blocks will be on site, cement, and even the people will be working on that. So ensuring that there is that coordination and there is that efficiency. You don't need to wait someone to move from the work area. You have planned each activity to match each schedule. So that ensures that you have the efficiency in terms of executing. And if something is not going to be executed, you are able even to change to have the alternatives on how to execute that in case you see there are dangers, if there are health and safety issues. You are able to even change to make decision in terms of sustainability, if the material you're using is sustainable, if it's cost effective. And with the efficiency that is needed in constructions, we know if today you delay tile work, tomorrow you delay paint work, and it becomes now a challenge once you're doing now the snag list because you have a lot pending to finish. You can't hand over a project at once to a client. And now when you come now to the construction contract administration, you find that will attract things we call liquidity damages because a client had vision to use their facility by this date, but now you have extended with over a month, and to them that's a loss. And now that comes back now to how efficient the contractor was, how they were able to execute the project. And if you mess with that, it now comes back to cost as to the project because you are not able to have that efficient coordination of all the tasks, all the teams, the communication, and also the procurement aspects. Because it's not again in the efficiency comes in terms of even sites. You find yourself there are these sites which are constraints in terms of the space. So you can't bring all the materials on site to say you increase efficiency. You need to plan and know when this material needs to be delivered and use the same day because you don't have space to store.
Mm.
And tomorrow you need another area to be completed. And you need, so once you deliver, you need to be used. And that will ensure that even if you have all those constraints, the project still goes on. And I think that's when now I think going to town you see the tall buildings and you don't know how the cement, how the sand is delivered, and you see the it's still growing. And that's the efficiency I talk about because the space is a constraint and you need now still to execute the project. So having that efficiency, coordinating all those activities, ensuring that you have everything in place and everyone, you know who will be doing what at what time and what information is required is one thing that's required to have the efficiency that is needed in project execution. Yeah.
Interesting. I really appreciate you sharing that with us, Sylvester, and taking us through a topic of discussion and answering my question is answered. I'm really hoping everybody who view this video is going to have um, those who are viewing us now and those who view us, who will view later, will watch the replay, will actually have, that guide before you go
Mhm.
ahead and take a leap. So I really do appreciate you, and I'd ask you now to give us your parting shot. Just tell somebody out there something that you just feel you need to get out, the last thing.
Mm.
And then I think we'll close.
All right. So thank you, Marion, for this opportunity to be in this platform. I think it's a wonderful opportunity to share my experiences and also guide people on career in terms of career. For me, I would say I don't have much to say, but to say believing in yourself, that's one thing, and also know where you are going. Just know there are people who are willing to help you, provided you communicate and you communicate through the right channels, the right way. Someone outside there is willing to hold you hands. Don't say there are no jobs and you're not talking. And nowadays, there are a lot of free courses online. Go do those courses for free. Get those certification. Be ready, because once you have that opportunity comes and it needs those papers, you won't struggle. You just need to present them and uh, be the person who is now ready for that opportunity. So don't say I have a lot of papers and opportunities are not coming. They'll come. Just be ready. Always be at knowledge. Always be learning. Always because things are changing every day. Now we have the AI, and there are many things that we can do with ChatGPT. There is now the DeepSeek. So you need to be able to know how to use these technologies to make things efficient, even in terms of workflows, in projects, in terms of even learning. And for people of this generation, the learning is different, because during our time we didn't even have the Google Meet, we didn't have Zoom, we didn't have Teams. So nowadays we have
Yeah.
everything online, and you can learn. We
Mm.
have Udemy courses, Coursera, we have LinkedIn Learning, and some are offering even discounts of free for 1 month. So give yourself challenge,
Mm.
be able to learn every day and be better than yesterday in terms of your profession, personally wise, and things will pay off, and you'll be able to testify and say, I was patient and things do work, because we normally see the bright side of the career, but we don't see the
Mm.
struggles. As I said,
Yes.
uh, people, we normally see where people are at that moment. We don't know the decisions they had before, the circumstances they had to overcome to be in that position. But once we experience, we learn, and we are willing to embrace and adopt, we get to experience the same challenges, and we learn from them, and through guidance, and we are able to accomplish great things. So thank you for this opportunity, and I'll be looking forward to interacting with people on LinkedIn. Feel free to connect, and also on
Yes.
Facebook and Twitter. It says Sylvester Muthoka, and
Okay.
looking forward to even interacting more on this platform,
Exactly.
and enlightening people, and also changing people's career perspective, because it's nowadays there are many areas that people can get information, but receive the information, pick the right one for your path, and things will work out at the end. So thank you so much.
Karibu, Karibu Sylvester. And we have a comment from Samson Kamau from LinkedIn. He's saying,
Mm.
thank you, Mr. Mutoka. That was very informative. And yes, I picked a lot of golden points. Thank you, Marion, for organizing this information session. Looking forward to more. Asante. So we're so grateful you joined us
thank you
last
so
time.
much.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm.
So that's it for today from us.
So thank you,
Chigiba. Yes. Thank you,
and
everyone, for joining us.
have a great weekend.
Yes.
Yeah. So thank you for the opportunity to be here, and catch up on other episodes if an
Of course.
opportunity comes up.
Sure.
All
It
right.
will definitely. We
Thank
need to
you.
talk about construction project management. So
No
please stay in
problem. No
touch.
problem.
Yes.
I'm ready for that.
All right. All right. Goodbye,
Yeah.
everyone.
All right. Bye.